So what is the difference between a cheap agent and a full service agent? Like anything in life, if you shop around, you will find a cheaper product. But as the saying goes, if you buy cheap, you buy twice. And the same applies to estate agency. So in this video, I'd like to let you know that there are cheaper estate agents out there. First of all, there are the agents that charge up front, even if they don't sell your house. So for under £1,000, they will put your property for sale. However, recent figures suggest that only 50% of people using this service actually sell their property. So this means you are gambling your money and have a 50-50 chance of success. So even if you feel lucky, please bear in mind that even if you do sell your property, you may end up selling it below market value because there is no incentive for the agent to achieve the best price. The other cost for you to consider is your time, because you will probably have to do most of the work yourself. And even if you're happy to do the things yourself, you may make mistakes which could cost you dearly. Now, you could do your own conveyancing or write your own will, but most people choose to use a solicitor. You could repair your own car or rewire your own home. But what if you get it wrong? The results could be catastrophic. So why risk your most important and most valuable asset? It's far better to use a professional. So you may decide to use a traditional estate agent who charges once they have sold your property. And if you shop around, you will find a cheap agent maybe charging 1% or less. So what will you get from a 1% agent? First of all, a 1% agent will not make enough profit to stay in business unless they do two things. One, have a high volume, in which case you will not get the personal service that you or your property deserve. Or two, they cut costs, in which case your property won't get the marketing it deserves and the quality of staff will not be as good. Generally, they will just take photos, do a floor plan and a write-up and stick it on Rightmove and hope that it sells. Well, I'm sorry, but hope isn't a strategy. Rightmove has just become a lazy agent's way of selling a property. If you have already viewed some of my previous videos, you will know about how we have an intense marketing campaign to maximise the exposure of your property and to achieve the best possible price. So this cheap agent will put the property on Rightmove and hope it sells. But what if it doesn't? Well, I can tell you what will happen. You probably won't hear from the agent. And if you do hear from the agent, they will probably tell you that it's not their fault that it hasn't sold, and it's the market. And they'll blame things like the weather, the school holiday, the economy, or the political situation. Then their only suggestion to you is to drop the price, drop the price, drop the price. So you end up dropping the price. Then when the property has been on the market for a while, many people or buyers will think, what's wrong with it and why hasn't it sold, or why hasn't anyone else bought it? So when you do get interest from a buyer, they will probably make a low offer. And what does your agent say? Well, they'll tell you it's a good offer and that you should accept it. Why? Because they're only interested in their commission and they want your property off their books so they can move on to the next one. So the main difference with Newman Property Experts is that we're not thinking about our fee. We put your interest first and focus on getting you the best price for your property. And we would recommend that you refuse the offer and let us use our negotiation skills to increase that offer. People have said many times that we are worth our fee alone just from our negotiation skills. We have often sold properties for 5% above the market value or the asking price. So what do we charge? We don't have a set fee. It depends on a number of factors: the value of the property, how saleable it is, and what level of marketing you require, and which agent you would like to represent you. So for example, if you wanted me to sell your property, I charge 2.5%, but I only deal with properties over £1 million and I ask my sellers to make a contribution to the marketing. I have recently sold a property that had an asking price of offers over £1 million and agreed a sale of £1,250,000. So that's £250,000 or 25% above the asking price. As you can imagine, the seller feels that 2.5% is great value for money. And I've also sold properties for £400,000 and £500,000 above the asking price because of my expertise in marketing and negotiation. So although it may not be me selling your property, I have trained all our agents on how to achieve the same results. So it's in the same way that when you go to a firm of solicitors, you will pay a different hourly rate for the senior partner or a barrister compared to a junior clerk. Or ladies, when you go to a hairdresser's, you will pay a different amount for the senior stylist compared to a new trainee. The same applies in our business. Some of our best agents will cost more than some of our younger or newer agents. Talk to the agent and find out about the service they will offer, the marketing you require, and what they will charge to sell your property. I hope you have found this useful, and remember, the more you pay your agent, the more your property will sell for. And one final point, the cheapest agent and the best agent are not the same.